Alright, well, this is my Blaster that I had picked up, and it was the frame was damaged here. This is kind of an update on this. So I'm going to sit here and talk about this for a little bit, and I did get the Coleman max torque clutch put on it, and in my setup I got from Tractor Supply. They sell these winch sets for like $50. It's kind of expensive, but it works, you know. And but anyways, my max torque clutch on the Coleman CTE 200 EUX I think it's called. It's the Coleman Camel mini bike. I got the max torque clutch in from Go Power Sports. They sell them. It was like $39 or something like that, or something. And actually, you can actually pay through that if you have an Amazon account. And they shipped it within like 2 days, man. I'm here in East Texas, but Go Power Sports is in Dallas area, so it's like maybe an hour and a half drive from where I'm at. So I could have actually drove there that day and picked it up, come back, and seen their shop, but I didn't. But I got it on. I got everything lined up. Had to, the clutch itself was narrow, or the hole opening was a little bit narrower, hair narrower than the output shaft on the stock bike. I had to take a file and run the engine and file the output shaft down in order to get the clutch on, because it was that tight. I was going to hammer it on, and I'm like, no, I'll never get it off. And then I got it, finally got it. It took a while to file it down. It took about an hour of filing and trying to get it straight even. But I got it on, and I lined up the chain and the sprocket. I had to grind a little spacer that came with the bike to get it on there straight. So, and I put the chain on, I got it tensioned right, put everything back together, took it for a ride, and it's perfect. Got the idle down. The bike doesn't want to take off on you when you start it up. So everything so far is good on that. We did order some mirrors. My girlfriend Mary wanted mirrors for it, so she ordered some mirrors from that same. We're waiting on those. They're clamp-on mirrors, and she wants to deck it out. And but this thing here, this is the 1990 Blaster. This is a 200cc two-stroke engine, and I picked it up for like $150 or something like that, and I basically was going to make a cross cart out of it, and I worked on the details on that, and I've been looking around. Now this actually, see, the chain comes right straight through here onto here, and you can put the two front tires. The two front Blaster tires are skinnier and taller than the back tires on these things. The back tires are really fat. So I've been looking around on the internet, on YouTube, and I found Honda made a fat bike, and Yamaha made an 80s, 86, 87, around there, made a fat tire bike, and I've been investigating that, and I've decided to use this frame and modify this right here to come up to here, and these pipes to come together up here and join with a front handlebars. And I looked on the internet. I mean, I think I could get this to come like bring these two together to one pipe, kind of bring it into one and come out to here, you know, about this, maybe a little bit higher than the pipe here, and then come up here on, like, say, a 10-degree angle like this, and maybe bend, weld these together, and have a pipe come up here somehow, come up through here and join with this pipe, one here and one here, and have the tube that for the steering tube to come somewhere right in here, and have the forks come right here, and have the big tire in the front. And I thought that was an awesome idea. The bottom part of the frame is in pretty good shape, and I mean, I still got the exhaust pipe right down here and a lot of extra parts. So I measured the rear wheel here. If I can get this down. I have to move this. Take this off. These are the brake shoes. I measured these tires, compared the tires to here, and they fit perfectly between these two right here. So if you look at it, the chain would line up, and I wouldn't have to put a jack shaft on it, and I might even be able to use the disc brake. It is the smaller of the two here, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it, but if I wanted to use these brakes, you know, I can slap these on here, like so, and I got I mounted it inside the hub already. So if you look at this side, all I got to do is get a spacer that runs over to here somehow for the front fork. And back, I'm going to have to figure out how to mount this sprocket, which I haven't figured that out yet. But basically, this tire, I'll have to modify this part of it, I think. I'll have to cut all this off and maybe keep that there, keep the shock where it's at, and maybe weld on an external pipe here. Take this off. Alright, so what I was saying, part 2, this camera I got on my head shuts off after a certain time, and it's kind of annoying, you know. It shuts off like at 10 minutes. So what I was saying is I should be able to use these two front tires that came off the Blaster and put it on the swing arm, and then you can buy at Go Power Sports, you can buy a front fork assembly with the shocks on it for like $100. I'd need the tube and everything, but I'm going to, because I put this tire up in front of the Coleman front forks, and the tires is a little bit taller than the mini bike tires, and it is almost the exact same width as the mini bike tires. So it's possible with a 10-inch. This is a 10-inch rim, I believe. This is an AT 21 by 7 by 10, 7 wide. It's 21 inches tall by 7 inches wide and 10 inches the rim. So it's possible I can get a 10-inch rim if I can get the same rim size for rear axle, maybe set up. That way I wouldn't have to, you know, buy a setup for the rear axle. But I'm going to try and see what I can come up with without having to buy a ton of parts for this thing. So, but either that or go over to a motorcycle junkyard and buy a front part of a frame and fit it on there somehow. Or I can just, you know, fabricate a whole front end. You know, all I need is the parts to come up here. All I need is this tube to come. I need to join these two together, like maybe put a plate in here, a solid plate, or another tube, or I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. And then take and connect the tubes from here and kind of bring them together, to one, and then have one tube come up and have it connect to the tube, the tube or the for the steering rack, and I should be able to sit back here, I think, and the front tire will probably be out. I'm not really sure, so. But I know that Honda made a Fat Cat with the fat tires, and I like the design of that because they didn't have a jack shaft set up on that. Whereas the Yamaha, they made a jack shaft set up. They had the 3-wheelers, and I could buy a 3-wheeler frame, but I seen one on Craigslist, and they want $2,200 for a freaking 30-year-old death trap 3-wheeler, and I'm just not ready to spend $2,000, $2,200 on a frame that but I'm just not willing to spend that much money. I already got a little bit of money invested in this already. So that's where I'm at right now with this. But the engine, I believe, is in good shape. Just have to, I'm going to take it apart and check everything. But it does turn. Everything turns okay. I mean, these spin, but I'm guessing the bearings are okay. This, I don't know what the gearing is on these. I think it says 195 CM3, whatever that is, 2X by 300, 195 or 195 CM. And I thought I saw a diagram on the shifter pattern somewhere on this thing. Maybe not. But it's not. But I checked the compression, and there's good compression, so raise this thing up, get up a little bit higher. Let's scoot this table underneath here. I'll just strap up. It's kind of tricky using this thing. Alright, let's raise this. You pull back to lock it. Trip over shit. Now to lower this thing, just kind of release it. You got to grab onto it pretty good. Pretty much that. Alright, so it's on the table right now. I'll probably keep this thing hooked up. I wanted to work on getting this thing off. I probably should get me a brick or something, put it underneath there and prop it up. So, but once I get this up in the air, I can take all these bolts off, get this shaft off somehow, and take all this stuff apart. I don't know. I put a bunch of 3-in-1 oil. That's always good for loosening bolts and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty rusty. I'm not sure what the shock is like. It seemed to have some good to it, so I don't know, we'll find out. But so far this is where I am at on this build, and it's going to be a fat bike, 2-wheeled fat bike. And I can show it this way here. That's what it's going to be, sort of. I need to prop up the back end of it. But in the meantime, but this definitely will I'm definitely going to have to I'm going to have to weld on some extra. I'm probably going to have to cut all this off up to where the shock is here. Cut all that off because I want the tire to go in as far as possible. You know, so. I'm looking at maybe extra foot. So that's where I'm at. And besides, I keep running into this axle all the time. It's driving me crazy. So, anyways, to like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think. And I'll try to keep you updated more.